Hello, and welcome along to today's video where we're going to look at a new Visual Studio Code extension called ClipImg. Now, the thought process behind ClipImg is that it allows you to easily take an image from your clipboard and get it into a document within Visual Studio Code as a linked object. So what I mean by that is if you're editing a document and you want to include an image, what ClipImg extension is going to allow you to do is it's going to allow you to take that image from your clipboard. It's going to take that, it's going to upload it into Azure, into a blob storage. It's going to create you a URL that you can then put into your document that you're editing. So let's jump in and take a look. So first thing here, ClipImg is available on the Visual Studio Code Marketplace. So feel free to go ahead and click the install button, or you can search for it within Visual Studio Code itself. So over here, I have the image in ClipImg extension installed. So what I want to do is I want to take an image from my clipboard and put it into this Markdown document as a linkable object. So I'm going to go ahead and use a screenshot here to capture some. Let's do down here. So let's say I want to take this and put it onto my clipboard, and I want to put that into my document as a linked object. So what I can do is I can go up to the command palette and I can search for paste image as Markdown. I'm going to go ahead and click on that. So I'm going to be guided through the process. So here it's asking for a description for the image. So I'm just going to use test image. Then I'm going to be prompted for the storage account name that I want to use. So what this is, and it's if you look in the README of the project, it'll tell you. But this is what it's asking for here is within your Azure subscription, it's going to want the let's see if I can zoom in a little bit here. It's going to want the name of the storage account that you want to use. So in my case, it's called ClipImg VSCode. So it can be named anything, but that's what it's looking for there. So I'm going to put in ClipImg VSCode. Then I'm going to be prompted for an account key. Now, I'm not going to show you this on screen for obvious reasons, but within the same setting in Azure Portal, there's an access keys section. If you grab the key from there and you can paste it into there and go ahead and hit return, what's going to happen now is there's a couple of things happened. The first is that over here on the left-hand side, within the .vscode folder, what's happened is a new settings.json file has been created, and it's basically storing the name of the storage account that you want to use for this project. So the thought process is that a different folder, a different workspace is going to have different destinations for things. So what this is a mechanism to store that on a per project basis. Okay, so that's what's happened here. The second is if we go back to the index.md, it has taken that description that we gave it, test image, it's included that within square brackets, and then in the curly brackets, or the curly bracket, not the parentheses, it has then created a URL that takes the image that was in our clipboard. It's put that up into Azure, and then it's created a link back to here, which includes a SAS token, so that if the storage account that you're using in Azure is a protected one, and you don't want folks to have full access to that storage account, you can provide a SAS token for that. So that's exactly what's happened here. It has, if we go back to my storage explorer here, so over here in my blob container, it's created one called ClipImg-VSCode for us, and then in here by default it's created it with a year, month, day. So if I go into 2020, I go into 2009, go into if I go into September and then the 8th, what we'll see here is that I had one in here previously, but the one that's just been created, it's created that and put it into our blob storage account for us. And then it's brought all of that information back down in here into something that we can then view. So if we click on the preview here, we'll then see the image that we took earlier with Greenshot. So if we do that again, so I'm just going to hit return a couple of times. So let's grab Greenshot again, and let's grab another region. So let's just go up here and take this part and then copy it to clipboard. So if I go back to my command palette, there are keyboard shortcuts as well, so you can do Control-Alt-V if you wanted to. I'm just going to click on this until I go to open. So again, this is another image. This time we won't be prompted for the storage account name or the key because we've already got that and those have been persisted securely in our computer. So what we've got instead is yet another image with that same process. It's uploaded into Azure Blob Storage. It has created a URL back to here with a SAS token included. And then from there, we can preview both of those things. So they're now available here in our document. So the thought process behind this extension is quite simple. As a developer, as a creator, I might want to write documentation for certain things. So having to do all that process manually, take a screenshot, save it to a file, upload it to Azure, come back here, create the URL. It's spawned from a desire to be lazy more than anything. So automating a lot of that process, grabbing the screenshot, putting it up there automatically, stubbing out the format of the Markdown here. It's all about making it as easy as possible to create that documentation. So this extension, it's been on my backlog for a long time to actually have this. I created the scaffolding for this more than a year ago, I think. But I didn't do anything with it. So I'm very thankful, though, that Matthias Carlson, a friend of mine, decided to pick it up. So this extension lives within the GEP13 OSS organization on GitHub, and I do encourage folks if they're interested to help out and work on these things. But these are this is where I store a lot of my open source stuff that I want to get to at some point. And Matthias picked this up and ran with it because he's got a direct need for this. So I'm very thankful for him to having picked this up and been able to run with it. So this is the first release. There are a couple other things that Matthias wants to do quite quickly. So you might see a couple of quick releases after this one. But yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out or come up to here and create an issue if you have any. Thank you very much.